This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi. Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
When you probably should be sleeping, that's when Walter comes creeping. Just turn off the light, it's the other side of midnight. If you hear a bunch of complaining and a lot of mansplaining, your dial is set right, it's the other side of midnight. The competition hasn't got a chance when Sterling's on the air. They just go on autopilot because, let's face it, they don't care. So settle in for radio done right. It's kinda like a radio bullfight. It's Walter Sterling, alright, on the other side of midnight.
In December 1980, multiple U.S. military personnel stationed at RAF Bentwaters in the UK reported seeing strange lights in the nearby Rendlesham forest. Some of the witnesses claimed to have seen a triangular-shaped craft land in the forest, and there were reports of strange radiation readings and other anomalous phenomena. In 1997, thousands of people in the Phoenix, Arizona area reported seeing a series of strange lights in the sky. The lights appeared to form a V-shape and were seen by people across the state. While some skeptics claim that the lights were flares dropped by military aircraft, many UFO enthusiasts believe that the incident was evidence of extraterrestrial activity.
I'm looking at something bizarre. You know what, guys? And then we'll talk about the UFO thing. You know what? I know this will sound impossible, but all I can figure is I have random audio coming through AnyDesk because it started again when that launched and nothing else is on. So maybe it's some weird thing with AnyDesk because, as you know, it's out to get me. There's a piece of software that we use that enables me to know who's calling, and it's out to get me. I'm convinced. Or they're enemies. All right, you and I can talk, and we should talk at 800-848-9222. I am stunned at the situation with the UFO revelations, with what's been shared, what's been shown. First, let's deal with this literally, a word that I've come to hate because so many people misuse it. Well, I literally think this, and I literally... shush. Stop with their nonsense. Just stop it. Here's the deal. Our president... our great president, he has said that he's going to release all the unidentified flying object information. He's going to release all of it. And you know what? He is. And what are we seeing? We are seeing files, movies, videos, interviews about things that are what? Unidentified. He has kept his word. He did not say he was going to release the identified information. He did not say he was going to show us aliens, UFOs. He did something really unusual for him when he said he was going to release this. The man, I don't know if you've noticed this, is inclined to hyperbole. And I figured when he said, okay, I'm going to release these files, which Biden would never do. Biden would have never released these files. My God. He didn't do any of that. He said, all right, I'm going to release these files. I mean, some people might be interested in them. That's all he said. It was so unlike him. Some people might be interested. They're going to see. He wasn't interested. He said he's never been interested. He didn't seem interested in the files. He didn't think anybody would really care. Well, I was not like him. But that is, in fact, what has happened. The files that have been released, no one's really interested. When you release a 30-year-old interview done by Walter Cronkite of Apollo Gemini astronauts that was on CBS, I don't know. It's not a big mystery there, right? I think he did exactly what he said he was going to do, which is he's releasing files about unidentified objects, unidentified people, unidentified things. They're unidentified. He didn't say he was going to release video of aliens, interviews with aliens. He didn't say he was going to release the secret footage of Jackie Gleason going to Area 51 with Richard Nixon, leaving Gleason traumatized for the rest of his life. He didn't say any of that. Now you got Tim Burchett running around screaming, which I'd really like to play for you, but I think I have a technical challenge here.
Already delayed. Minsets have already delayed.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What the heck is that? Hey, guys, could you see if there's anything that could possibly be feeding into the computer that's got the... I don't get it. It's really weird. All right, let me close that. I know this is really boring to you, but what are you doing? I mean, you're working at the FedEx loading dock. You're working in the ER. You're walking the baby. You're preparing for finals. It's just you and me. There's no one else around. We don't have to impress anybody. There's nobody we need to worry about. It's just us. That's the great beauty of the time of day that you and I are on. It's the sweetest time of day. We get to walk down streets that are normally packed and nobody's there. It's fascinating to me that when I get off the air in Manhattan and I go to the bus stop in Manhattan at 5:20 a.m., there's nobody there. I figured there'd be many, many people hurrying to work at 6 in the morning, bank workers, people who are put on earth to torture us, venture capitalists, people with MBAs. They were put on earth to torture us. I like lawyers. I love doctors. I have total respect. But if you have an MBA, it depends how you use it. But in a lot of these MBA places like Wharton, they teach them to be crappy people. They do. They teach them to get you. And what does a guy with an MBA do when he comes into your business or your industry and decides to do a McKinsey survey? A McKinsey survey. They take something that has been created from scratch, that very often is a created product, not a manufactured product, something that comes out of thought leaders, God help you. And they try to turn those ideas into a spreadsheet. And what's the first thing they do when they get involved with an organization, these MBAs, these people from McKinsey? What is the first thing they do? They get rid of old Charlie. Every company that's one generation in from being founded, every company, one generation in from being found, they've got one woman or one man who knows everything. She's been there so long that by default she knows everything, but she's smart. That's why she's been there a long time. She knows. And she knows, well, that client's very good, but you can't invite them here that day because that's their oldest kid's birthday. That person, that's the most valuable person, the one who knows when a client's kid's birthday is. The MBAs fire them first. Well, they're making the most money, and they don't have the most productivity, yet they are the glue. They're like the Kate Martin in the WNBA. They're like Kate Martin, the glue. And that's what they do. And the minute you get rid of old Charlie or old Susan, that is when the company, the organization, starts to fall apart, because they remember the birthdays. They remember who has a bad foot. They remember, oh, no, they can't. They go to the hospital at this time every year for treatment. They're that person. That's the first thing an MBA gets rid of. I'll never forget the first time I ran into this. I was at a radio station in New York, and they came in with their big McKinsey study. And they wanted to show which disc jockeys were the most popular among the population. And they asked like 1,000 people. It was a big official survey. And they asked them, all right, now, who do you like to listen to most? And they got the answers. And then they also asked incredibly stupid questions, like which radio station plays too many commercials, or which radio station plays too many jingles, or which radio station plays too many contests. Fascinating, right? Somebody wasted $40,000 for that survey. But here was the answer about the disc jockeys, and they're putting up this information on slides. You know, they had slides, and they were in really expensive suits of sorts you and I have never owned. Well, I don't even know where you get those suits. I once went and got a Paul Stewart suit. That was a terrible mistake. Way too tight. Even though it was fitted for me, it was way too tight. And gray, I found out I looked terrible in light gray suit. But I digress. The survey shows about these disc jockeys. And it lists all of the most popular disc jockeys. And, of course, Cousin Bruce Merle was way up there. Fine. Except for one thing. I was the only one in the room, and I was like 2 at the time, 3 years old at the most. And therefore, you know, I didn't have a mortgage. I wasn't married. I could say whatever I wanted. It was a great freedom. I could just say whatever I wanted. And the mistake I've made the rest of my life is I kept forgetting that I was married and had children. I just keep saying whatever I want. The slide goes up, and all the names of the disc jockeys go up, and they're all writing down notes. Oh, yes, this one's famous. We should try to get a hold of him and her. And I realized that every one of them had a novelty name, like Murray the K, Cousin Bruce Merle. They all had novelty names. People remember novelty names. In your head, there's a box for disc jockey. And in that box are novelty names. Oh, disc jockey, yeah, Cousin Brucey, disc jockey. Novelty names. And that's what it was. I said, those aren't the most popular disc jockeys. Bruce was, but the rest of them weren't. I said, those aren't the most popular disc jockeys. Those are the most memorable names. They weren't even the most memorable disc jockeys. I said, did you ask the next question, which is, why do you like them? No, they didn't ask that question. It's astonishing. About the UFOs. So this Tim Burchett guy, this Congressman Burchett, who's been on the station, who's been on the Red Apple Audio Networks, 17 past the hour with Walter Sterling, Red Apple Audio Networks, the other side of midnight. This is the greatest all-night show on American radio. Welcome, and I want to talk to you. You ready? Here's the phone number, 800-848-9222, 800-848-9222. This Congressman Burchett, running around saying, oh, I've been in a SKIF. And it wasn't until now that we knew what a SKIF was. I've been in a SKIF, and I know that this is, they're not releasing everything. They have a lot more they could release. They're not releasing it. I'm outraged. Well, first of all, Congressman, you're a congressman. Don't you have any clout to go and pound on desks and say, you need to release this? The people in my district want to see this. They want to hear this. And he keeps whining like that. And I respect him, and he's a good Republican, and he's from the South, so he's an extra good Republican. But the fact is that I think he has some clout to get information released. And he's not doing that. Maybe he is. Maybe we don't know about it. Or maybe he is and he hasn't been able to get it done. You wouldn't believe the Americans will be shocked by this. Well, every one of these guys who actually knows what's in there, they always say the same thing. Americans won't be able to handle this. This, it's not going to be like Disclosure Day. It'll be much more intense, blah, blah, blah. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that that's what the case is at all. I think there's a distinct possibility that there's nothing more there than that we've been told. And that when something more is revealed, it's not going to be anything to scare us. Because we've seen Star Trek. We've seen Close Encounters. We've seen all of the Little Green Men movies. We saw The Day the Earth Stood Still, or Invasion from Mars, not the funny one, the one in the 1950s, which was the scariest movie I have ever seen to this day. The Invasion from Mars in black and white, that was the scariest movie I have ever seen till this day. Well, how do you feel? What do you think? Do you think there's more stuff, or you think we're being conned? You think it's like going on a roller coaster at Cedar Point that's going to get stuck halfway up.